Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the SWE PNW Digital Digest for March 7th. I'm Claire Robinson, and I will be hosting tonight. Tonight, we are joined by Grace and Angela. And Grace, can you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. I'm Grace Lefebure, and I am the current SWE PNW Section President.
Great. Angela?
Hi, I'm Angela Mohanty, and I recently started helping out as a lead curator for the SWE PNW Book Club, which we now recently renamed Rainier Ramblings.
Great. And so we're going to talk about that some more towards the end of this session, but hopefully everyone sticks around to see. Okay, so what are we going to go through today? As usual, we'll go through our SWE PNW events and activity highlights, some section business, just keep you informed about what's going on. We've got some region and society info to get through, just what you really need to know. And then, as we said, our rotating topic for this month is about the Rainier Ramblings, our newly rebranded book club. And then we will end with the Ask Me Anything section. So get your questions ready. Feel free to put them in the YouTube comments throughout. We'll be monitoring that, or in the Facebook group. We'll be monitoring that too. Okay, so we'll start out with a minute or so with SWE PNW. Here's a quick high-level look at our events and activities coming up. We've got some great outreach, the brunch series, which has been pretty successful. I believe the last one was sold out, but we've got a couple more coming up. We've got the Rainier Ramblings Book Club, Ready Player One on 3/25, so everyone get that on your calendar. And then, of course, We Local Portland. More on that later. Then Grace is going to tell us a little bit about the Section Awards program.
So we have a local Section Awards program here in the Pacific Northwest to recognize our awesome volunteers. And so the awards we're going to be giving out this year are the Members' Choice Award, the Most Valuable Person, the Volunteer of the Year for Outreach, and Volunteer of the Year for Professional Development. And so the nomination form for these awards will be live soon. So look out for that if you have an outstanding volunteer in mind that you'd like to recognize.
Awesome. Okay, and as we mentioned earlier, We Local Portland is coming up. It's going to be April 6th and 7th at the Portland Marriott downtown waterfront. This is the closest We Local to us in the Pacific Northwest, so I highly recommend you all check it out. If you register before March 8th, you can still get that early bird registration. And if you sign up to volunteer, you get a 10% off discount and usually like a cool accessory. And you can also ask your companies to support We Local. Prospectus is now available. So hopefully some companies want to do that. Grace is also going to tell us about some of the active SWE PNW special task forces we have going on.
Yep. So we have a few special task forces that are looking into various aspects of SWE PNW's business and trying to improve specific things in that. And so a few of these are the section election standard operating procedures, the section travel reimbursement policy, the glory of paperwork and record keeping, and scholarship program evaluation and improvement. So if you're interested in getting involved in any of these task forces that we're looking at these specific issues, we're always looking for more volunteers to help with these.
Yeah, everyone, please sign up and help out. They're really fun.
Oh, and we're looking forward. We'll have our banquet in May, and we have a really great speaker this year. It's Jill Tiet-Jen, who is a past SWE Society president, and she will for sure give a very interesting talk. So mark your calendar for that.
I am really looking forward to this banquet. It was really fun last year, and I think it'll only get better this year.
Yeah, and we actually won a region award last year for our banquet because it was such a popular and well-run event.
That's awesome. Okay, and just quickly, how can you connect with SWE PNW for events? In case you aren't aware of our webpage, Google Calendar, you can sync that with your own calendar so you always know what we're doing. We're on Facebook and the email list, so those are available for reference if you need to find us. So next we're going to get into some SWE business and behind the scenes. Grace is going to take us through that.
Yeah, so we recently got our membership report, and so our totally in SWE overall, we've had an increase in 3,238 members, which is about 9% greater than the number of members in FY17, and that was the breakdown of that was a 34% increase in professional memberships and an 8% decrease in collegiate. And then specifically within our section, we had 572 members last year, and 366 of those have renewed for this year, and we've gained 149 new members. And then some other business that we have going on. We have a new membership engagement lead, Whitney Slavic. So we're really excited to have her, and she's going to look into more membership engagement type events, some social and networking to provide opportunities for everyone to meet. And we're also looking for help for our various committees, including the Professional Development Committee, the Virtual Brand Team, guest authors for the blog, and our Social and Networking Committee.
I'm just going to give a shout out to the Virtual Brand Team. Come join us. You get to do cool things like host digital digests.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of opportunities with the Virtual Brand Team, varying in commitment levels, and same with all of our other committees.
And if you have a blog post idea, please share it. We love them. Send them over.
And some other things we're working on, we're looking at getting some swag with our logo on it. So look out for that. We'll be probably taking a pre-order soon.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. Quick update on our election. So we just approved our chair and vice chair for the nomination committee. And so the chair of this committee is going to be the chair of this committee is going to be Marina Barna, and then I'm going to help facilitate the communication between the nomination committee and our current leadership team. And so we're currently in the process of reaching out to various members to see if they'd like to be nomination committee members. We're aiming to have at least 3 on that committee. And then once that is live, then we'll move forward with the election procedures for the year, for this year, electing officers for next year. And we're deploying some of the improvements that were developed as a part of the special task force that I mentioned earlier. And those include the committee leadership details, committee members' criteria, guidelines, and naming convention, and communication protocol.
Great. Yeah, I know the NomCom will be doing a great job of keeping communication going with the membership, so just keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm. And then at the region level, the Region J has recently started accepting applications for its FY18 awards program, and I believe those will be presented at We Local Portland, and the submissions for that are due by Friday, March 23rd. Oh yeah, I guess the next bullet is that they'll be presented at We Local Portland. And so the packet was included as a link in the SWE PNW March 2018 event highlights email that was sent out earlier.
Check your promotions folder in Gmail if you didn't see it. Yeah, sometimes it goes there, but it's got a lot of good info.
Yeah. And at the society level, our individual awards program deadline is March 31st. So if you're interested in applying for an award, keep it or start putting together your packet, and we can definitely help with that if you need help. And then SWE is also hosting a strategic leadership series, which you can find on their website. The next event is called Producing Results from Strategy. And another thing that's not mentioned on the slide is if you want to submit an abstract to speak at WE 18, they're currently accepting proposals for that.
I'm going to just encourage everyone to do that. I spoke last year, and it was a really good experience for me.
Yeah.
It was definitely fun during and after, leading up, a little nervous, but it was good for me.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's a really good forum if you're really new to public speaking, because that's how I was too. I was like really panicked about public speaking, and then the SWE was a really good place to present for the first time.
It's a friendly audience for sure.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of really great talks to go listen to. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some more on We Local Portland. So it's coming up pretty rapidly. The speaker selections have been sent out. So if you've been selected as a speaker or a panelist or whatever, just let us know, and we will help to promote your topic to get you more people in that friendly audience. I know a lot of people from this area will be attending, so we have a Facebook group for that so that we can all meet up down in Portland. I know we met up at the national conference in Austin. Oh, I almost confused my conferences there. Last fall, and that was a really fun time. So hopefully we can repeat that in Portland. In case you have some travel planned, there are the other We Locals. We Local Milwaukee is occurring this weekend, so hopefully you already booked that travel. But there's still We Local Portland, and then in late April, there's We Local in Providence. So if you end up attending any of the conferences that aren't Portland, also let us know. We'd love to hear about it. Love to hear about what they've got going on. I know some people were able to attend in Phoenix, and I hear that was a really good conference. So it'd be fun to just road trip between We Locals. A little bit more on Portland. We do have a SWE PNW Develop panel. It's called Alone Amongst Many. And basically, we realized that a lot of us are transplants from other parts of the country or the world, and that we've all ended up in the Pacific Northwest, and we wanted to share some of our experiences with that. So this was developed into a panel discussion that was presented at WE 17 in Austin, and you can see the picture there. It was a pretty big panel, but we got really good turnout and feedback, and so we're continuing this at Portland. And let us know if you are interested, if you've had some moves and want to tell people what worked and what didn't for you.
All right, so here's some shout outs to some awesome volunteers that we have. Teresa Crack wanted to give Maria Barna a shout out for she wanted to say thank you for the support on the special task force and for stepping into the nomination committee chair role. And Teresa also wanted to recognize Claire Robinson, our wonderful host tonight, and thanking her for being the virtual brand team host for the Digital Digest.
Thanks, Teresa. And if anyone's got more shout outs, go ahead and send them to that email at the bottom, sweep.pnw.secretary@gmail.com. Let us know. We love giving shout outs. Okay, now it's time for our rotating topic. So Angela's going to start telling us about Rainier Ramblings.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so as I mentioned, I recently became into the role of lead curator for the SWE PNW Book Club, which is now renamed SWE PNW Rainier Ramblings. And so we This book club forum is here to help provide stimulating conversations between SWE members in the area in hopes that we can increase our knowledge as well as just share some ideas with other SWEsters in the area. And we are not just limited to only talking and discussing books. We are also wanting to prompt discussions around webinars, articles, activities, or any other events that are going on. And so we are trying to create themes for each different kind of book club meeting. And our topics are not only limited to a certain field or genre. We've been trying to bring in a variety of topics that cover both fiction and nonfiction, as well as from professional development to more leisure or fun topics. So we want to try to bring as much variety as possible to hopefully bring as much knowledge and sharing of ideas as possible. Okay, so right now I, Angela, am the lead curator for Rainier Ramblings, meaning that I'm just helping to organize and run some of the book club meetings. We also have some book club curators, such as Claire Robinson, Luna Michael, as well, and Teresa Crack, who are helping out with generating ideas and topics for new, for future book club meetings and events.
I'm so excited.
Yes, oh yeah, and then we're also always looking for more volunteers. So I'll say another note about that in a couple minutes. Just to give you a couple of highlights of past book club meetings that we had last year. This just gives you a feel for the variety of books that we explored last year. For example, we try to explore books or topics that kind of are related in some way to our SWE members. In other words, looking at books that feature a leading female role, or something related to science or engineering, or something related to professional development. And as you can see from the list from 2017, the majority of our book club meetings were centered around a book. But as you'll see, as I'm going to discuss in the future meetings, we are going to be bringing in more variety, as I had mentioned before, in that we want to discuss not only books, but as well as webinars, articles, and various other topics. Okay, so with our new name of Rainier Ramblings for the book club, we've also kind of reorganized how we are going to plan the meetings at the book club meeting. And so this kind of highlights our general format of what we are planning to do. So maybe the first 10 minutes, as people are arriving, we'll just have like a welcome and meet and greet so you can get to know everyone's names and maybe where they work. Then we'll have about a 20-minute focused discussion related to either the book or topic, where I'll bring some kind of prompted discussion points or questions that we can discuss from the book or topic. And then, of course, we'll have leave a short open discussion for if anyone else wants to discuss something that we haven't discussed already. And then we are also thinking about bringing in a rotating activity in which this is where we can help to share ideas of other books or topics that other SWE members could check out. And so, for example, in March's book club meeting, our rotating activity is going to be a game that's called Bring Your Own Book. And so basically everybody's going to bring one of their favorite books from home, and we're going to play a game where you have to try to pull out certain phrases or something from your book. And so this, just in a fun game format, helps you to see other book suggestions and maybe get more ideas of what you could read in the future.
That reminds me, I need to pick out my fun book to bring.
Yep. And then we'll end the meeting with just open discussion or networking for the last 30 minutes. And so we're hoping with this new format that we can keep everything a little more structured and organized in the beginning of the meeting, and then leave it open for just open discussion and networking towards the end of the meeting. And then that way, if people are in a hurry and they're not able to stick around for the entire time, they can leave. Or if you are having really great discussions with other SWE members, then you're welcome to stick around and chat for as long as you want. And also, I want to mention that we are also trying to tie in our book club events with other events as well. So, for example, tying in maybe 1 month we read a book that's related to a movie or some kind of social or networking event that we're going to do the following month. So if we go to the next slide, I can give you an example. An example of this is for March, actually on March 25th, we have our book club meeting scheduled where our theme for the meeting is on the book called Ready Player One. And the reason that we're reading this book for the month of March is because Steven Spielberg actually made a movie based on this book, and the movie is getting released at the end of March. So we thought it would be fun to have a movie tie-in event in April where we have SWE PNW goes to the movies, and we can meet up and all go see the Ready Player One film in April. And then another example is we are generating the ideas that because Rainier Ramblings has a similar name to the, I believe it's the Tacoma baseball team.
Tacoma Rainiers.
Yeah, the Tacoma Rainiers. So we thought it would be kind of fun to do a theme of having us all go to a baseball game together for a fun social event or outing. So we were thinking that in May, we could schedule a book club meeting around the theme of women in baseball. And so we're thinking about that, not designating a specific book that people have to read, but have people come in or read or watch films that are related to the topic of women in baseball. And then we'll discuss that in May, and then plan a baseball game outing in June. So, so these are some examples of kind of what's coming up for the book club and how we're trying to expand our events for these meetings.
I'm just going to encourage everyone to read Ready Player One. It is so much fun.
Yes, yeah, I'm really excited to discuss it with everyone on March 25th.
Yeah, and I just flew through it. My sister read it and gave it to me and said, you have to read this. And the same day that she did that, my boyfriend came home and said, look at the book I just bought. And it was Ready Player One. And so we parallel read it and kind of raced. I won. But it is so good. So I hope everyone gets a chance to read it. And it really does just go so fast. So
yeah,
enjoy. Good for a rainy Seattle day.
Okay, and then just finishing up with talking about the book club, we are always looking for volunteers. And so a couple things, if you're interested in volunteering, one volunteer position you could be is a book club curator, in which you help to generate ideas for future books, topics, or events that we explore. As well as if you are interested in contributing to writing up blog posts or any other topic write-ups, or helping to keep track of ideas in our Google groups. Please let us know if you're interested in volunteering for that. Or if you want just to volunteer as a location host by generating ideas of more meeting locations. And then just, if you come up with a meeting location, maybe just double check that location's website for space availability and so forth. We are always looking for new topics as well as new locations to meet at, because we always are trying to bring in more variety for our SWE members to enjoy.
Yeah, I think the changing locations will be helpful too, so that we can trade off crossing bridges and
yes, definitely,
things like that, and get to see fun new parts of the city or the area that you haven't seen before. So.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a wrap. So at this point, we're going to transition into a quick wrap up, and also after that, the Ask Me Anything portion. So if you're listening and watching on YouTube, feel free to throw some comments in there. We're monitoring that, so we'll be watching for that, and also on the Facebook group. So Grace, if you see any questions come in, I guess just stop me and read them. But while we wait for those, I'll just do a quick wrap up. So we went through all this, but Region J Awards are due March 23rd, which is sneaking up on us. So just make sure to get anything you need for that started and finished soon. That same vein, individual awards at the society level are due March 31st. And while that does seem like it's a whole month away, there's a lot that goes into those. So make sure that you're staying on top of it. And then section award nomination form will be coming soon. So keep an eye out. Everyone mark your calendars, May 6th. We've got that annual banquet, which is a super fun time. And we hope to see everyone there. And also send us your shout outs. If someone's doing a good job, give them a little virtual pat on the back and let us know. And then also just keep an eye out for updates on the fiscal year 19 election, because those will be coming and you want to be involved. So keep an eye out. Have any questions come through, Grace?
No, I don't see any yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to refresh the pages.
Just keep refreshing.
Yeah, like angry that I'm trying to refresh like 3 pages at once.
Regarding that, the next theme, so after Ready Player One, the women ball, I am particularly excited about that one because growing up, A League of Their Own was always one of my favorite movies. And since we talked about that theme, I've now learned how many books there are out there on the subject of women in baseball. So I'm excited to pick one up and learn some more.
Yeah, actually, after we discussed about this idea of exploring the topic of women in baseball, I got motivated to look up books that were related to this topic, and I already started reading a book called Making My Pitch. And so it's about this woman kind of wrote a memoir or biography about her experiences in trying to make it in men's baseball. And so it's been a really fascinating book so far, and I'm excited to discuss what other people discover in this theme as well.
Oh, so I'm seeing some questions on Facebook. Let's see, it looks like a bunch of them.
Really? Man, mine does not show any questions. I've refreshed like 10 times.
So it's the phone. Facebook loves the phone. So let me start with the most recent one, actually, which is, will there ever be an online book club?
Yes, that's a good question. We actually were exploring the idea of trying to see if at some of our meetings, if we could connect it with a live stream online like we are doing now. And so then people, if they are unable to make it to the event place, maybe they could still attend online. Or we are also exploring, we have a group in the Goodreads website, and so we're trying to explore what more we can do with that and expand on that. So that's definitely something that we're still discussing and trying to figure out. So if anyone has any suggestions for that, please send us your suggestions, and we'd be happy to talk with you and see if you can help us get that organized.
I think that kind of ties into another question, which is, what if we have a question idea for the book club? Where should we submit that to help the discussion? So I guess, like, if you're reading the book and you go, oh man, I really want people to answer this question and see how they feel about it. Should they send that to you, Angela, or where should they send it?
Yeah, they can definitely send any questions or ideas or anything to the SWE PNW Book Club email. So it's SWE.PNW. Oh, sorry, let me just make sure. SWE.PNW.book.club@gmail.com. And or you could also post any suggestions or ideas on our SWE PNW Rainier Ramblings Facebook page as well.
Oh yeah, the Facebook page. I forgot to shout that out. Yeah, the book club Facebook page is pretty active, so people should definitely check that out. And
yeah, that's actually another way that we can kind of bring in more of an online component, is if you are maybe reading the book or learning about the topic for that month and you have some comments you want to share with everyone, feel free to post your comments to the Facebook page, and then other members can reply back and form a discussion in that way as well.
Yeah, and just so you know what you're searching for, it is a Facebook group, not page, which you can get to from the SWE PNW page. The wide world of Facebook, everybody. Let's see, we've got some other questions. Going back to the panel, the Alone Amongst Many panel that will be at the We Local Portland. The question is, what if someone is interested in the panel but can't make We Local Portland? Well, still let us know. This panel has been pretty successful, and we are hoping to repeat it and keep sharing information. And the more people that we get adding their thoughts and voices, the more interesting it is for the audience. So be sure to let us know if you're interested, and we will find a time to share your thoughts. Let's see. There was another question, I believe, about We Local. saying anyone speaking that we should know about. Well, there is the panel that I will be on, and several other members. Teresa will be on it, and our secretary, Marina, who couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. Teresa will also be giving a talk. I believe it's an hour talk on what the section has done with the virtual brand. So if you're interested in the virtual brand, which everybody is, come check out her talk, which will be at WeLocal. Grace, you and Teresa gave that talk together before, right?
Yeah, we gave that talk as an hour-long talk at WeLocal San Jose, and then again at We 17 as a lightning talk.
Yeah, and I unfortunately could not make San Jose, so I'm excited to see it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you see any other questions, Grace?
No, I don't think so. I think the reason why I wasn't seeing questions is I didn't realize they were comments on that picture rather than just posted in the general discussion forum. But I don't see anything on the YouTube. Okay. Unless I'm like not looking in the right place again.
I think YouTube comments are pretty straightforward.
I'm not a big YouTube user, so.
And just a note on that virtual brand talk in Portland, I will be giving it with Teresa this time. So since Grace can't make it, I'm going to step in and try and fill those shoes.
I'm happy to help you if you need.
I appreciate it, since I've actually never seen it. Okay. If there aren't any more questions coming in, then I think we can call it a night. Thanks for joining. You two had a lot of really great information to share, and we hope you'll come back for another Digital Digest. So thanks. Have a good night, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.